What's up, guys? Chad Andrews here. Another day of Christmas. We're just a few days away, and today I wanted to do a post for the intermediate, advanced beginners, and intermediate plus riders. There's 5 things that we're going to talk about in this video, so let's get to it. All right, we're in the studio, my studio, and we're going to go over 5 things that intermediate cyclists should be able to do. Beginner plus and intermediate plus cyclists should be able to do. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing down there a previous version of a video that I did about how to become a better descender. I am going to put the link below so that you guys can dive into it. But essentially what you're seeing here is well, first let me tell a backstory. I have a friend of mine that we would do a little game, and whatever he or she would get on the climb on me, because they were a really good climber, I would be afforded on the descent, and I would always get that time back because this person just simply wasn't a comfortable descender. So they learned a valuable lesson. They tried to become a better descender, but really elite descenders are just born, but you can practice it, no bars. You should practice. Work on your weakness. If you're a good climber, okay, climb, great. But you need to work on your descents if you're not a good descender. First thing. Right there. Oh, we're going to pause that. Inside knee points to the turn and up. Outside leg is pressing down. And the eyes are pointing towards the turn. I want you guys to either watch the video or practice it. Very simple. All right, next thing on my list. You need to be able to service your bike. I know intermediate cyclists that don't know how to change their tire. That just blows my mind that they cannot change their own tire or tube. Or that they know that you could put a dollar bill in the inner wall of a tire that's been cut. Put a dollar bill in there, simple. You should be able to tape your own handlebars like this guy's doing. Little subtle stuff. You should be able to do that. Replace your chain. What happens if you're out on a ride and you have a multi-tool but you don't know how to change your chain? Or take a link out of it to put it back on. One thing that you should be able to do that's really important that a lot of people don't know how to do is change your stem out and change your handlebar out. But that also comes with handlebar tape. If you guys have never done it before and you just take it to the bike shop, you have no idea what's underneath that handlebar tape. Think miles and miles of sweat. If you have carbon handlebars, same thing. Especially if you have aluminum handlebars, it will eat through the sweat that you've been putting on that handlebar will eat through that handlebar. And I've seen a lot of bad accidents from people who just didn't take care of it. You should be able to do that. There are tons of videos out there. Heck, we'll do a clinic if we need to about that, but you need to be able to change your handlebars out, you need to be able to change your stem out, and you need to be able to change your handlebar tape. And there's an art to it. Like, there are mechanics that really, really, really focus on the beauty of taping handlebar. It's magic, the good guys and the good mechanics out there, good men and women. All right, number 3 on our list. You need to understand the difference between a power meter and how it affects your training versus a heart rate monitor. Heart rate training, and this is kind of jumping ahead, but heart rate training is a response to the power. So there are certain types of workouts that you cannot use with a heart rate monitor because they're power-based. And the heart rate always lags. And I know you guys heard me harp on this, but if you're doing stuff like anaerobic capacity, intermediate cyclist, you need to know what that means. Threshold work, you need to know what that means. Working at lactate, you need to know what that means. So you need to know the difference between training with a power meter, which every intermediate plus cyclist should get to upgrade their riding, and training with heart rate. Heart rate lags, and it's a lot harder to train with heart rate. So you should know that. I just told you why. Heart rate is a response to power. Now, jumping into number 4 here is periodization. If you have a power meter, you could see this blue line that I'm tickling. This is one of our clients at Total Cyclist. This is the ebbs and flows of yearly training. And the blue line that I'm going around, ignore all the rest of the stuff, but all the blue line that I'm going around is their training load throughout the year. And you could use power-based and periodized training to guess and estimate how your performance is going to be. And if you have a power meter, every single dot in here is a day. And every day, it's either your training load is easy or it's hard. But what power-based training does is it takes the guesswork out of it. The yellow line is how much training, the training stress balance. Is there balance in your training? You know, are you negative or are you positive? And you could see how the yellow goes up when the blue goes down. That means you're fresher, but you're not as fit. And then the blue line means that you're actually increasing your training load throughout the year. This is 2018 to 2020. So you could see the ebbs and flows of yearly training, and you cannot do that unless you have a power meter. Simple. So you need to know how to periodize. Granted, that's what coaches are for, but you need to understand the concept of periodization and how it changes. And then one final thing is change it up. What do I mean by change it up? There are so many intermediate cyclists out there that just stay on their road bike. Why? You're missing out on a cross bike. You're missing out on the new greatest and latest in gravel. You're missing out on mountain biking. If you want to improve your cycling, now, of course, this is budget dependent, but you can get an inexpensive gravel bike, reasonably speaking, for $1,000. A mountain bike, those are a little bit more expensive. But I've noticed that some of our athletes, that when we got them just away from their road bike and got them on a gravel bike, and to understand that the differences between riding a gravel bike and a road bike are huge. They're immense. If you're a roadie and you're intermediate and you want to go hop on a gravel bike, you got to learn some skills. But those skills will then transfer over to the road bike. It's incredible to watch it. Mountain biking the same. You have to have an incredible amount of balance on a mountain bike to be successful. But that transfers back over to the road bike. Same thing could be said if you're strictly a mountain biker. We've noticed a lot of mountain bikers, years ago, they would come into the training center and they wouldn't tell anybody because their fitness level they got a road bike, they would put it in the training center and they would start quote unquote road riding. They wouldn't tell their friends because that was taboo years ago. But man, their mountain biking just elevated. So change it up, guys. Change it up. Even if it's, and I've talked about going for walks or whatever, I am strictly talking 2 wheels. You will notice that you will have so much more fun if you just change it up. During the winter especially during the winter. Get off the road bike. Get on a gravel bike. Go do some gravel rides. You will find yourself giddy with it. So those were our 5 things. Learn how to descend. Know how to service your bike. We went over them. Number 4, what a power meter versus a heart rate monitor and why. You need to learn how to periodize your training and understand it. And number 5, change it up. Cool? All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hope you have an awesome day. Hey guys, if you want frequent updates, punch that subscribe button below.